Hello again. This is Scottie and welcome to my toy box. While we got it, pull up some of that there internet because I'm not sure we're going to have it much longer or too far we're going to be able to do with it, but pull it up, come on over, have a sit down, grab yourself your comfortable chair and something to drink. I'd like to go over a few headlines with you. I'll just read the titles and then give you a little pop off of my own thoughts. Do this for 5-10 minutes and well, if it's something people like, I could start doing it every day because that's the thing I do. When I first get the computers up and running, I go through some other stuff. Then I start in on the cartoons. As everybody knows, I post the regular cartoons and then the political cartoons. And then I go, well, I guess I don't post the regular ones so much. I read them, but I don't post them. I figure people want cartoons of that nature, they can get them on their own. But I do go and get the political ones and post them because I'm very politically oriented. Then I go to the religious sites and I get them and I read them, and I go to the news blogs and I read them, and by the time I get about noontime or so, I'm so frustrated and sore and I'm angry and I'm all fired up. Well, hopefully these videos will help me deal with some of that. All right, now let's go back to a site I go to a lot. Joe My God. he gets a lot of hate mail for that name. But let's see here. I haven't read that one about the new thing they're doing to the trans. Well, that's horrible. But if they get away with it with the transgender people, they're going to do it to the LGBT. They almost have. I read somewhere that they have almost whitewashed the entire government site. All the agencies and that, they've almost totally washed out all of the LGBT mentions, things that services for LGBT. It's all gone. We're gonna have to play heck to get some of it back. Let me see here. It looks like that Julian Assange is in great trouble, and well, I don't like political prosecutions, and I think part of his prosecution is political. But, you know, they never did get a satisfaction of that rape case. He just ran out the clock, hiding. Said he was hiding because he thought they'd bring him to the United States. Well, they probably would have. They sure are tried. Now, I guess I'd have to see the details of that more, but if he's just accused of distributing the emails, well, if he's not accused of knowing they were stolen, if he's not accused, well, he should have known they were stolen, but he was given a lot of stuff that he should have known shouldn't be. Some of it was published. I liked WikiLeaks a long time ago when it was into open door policy of showing what governments were hiding that they shouldn't be hiding. Things like what Chelsea Manning went to prison for. She showed that our own people were killing first responders. Come on, we killed news people and then first responders coming to help them. The people had a right to know that, and the people who did it should have been prosecuted. The people who hid it should have been really prosecuted. But on what Assange has come and what he did during the elections, I don't know. I'd like to see him be given a fair trial. But we'll see what happens. Taiwan rejected same-sex marriage in a vote, thanks to groups like Brian Brown there of NOM and all the Liberty Council groups and that ran right over. They run around the world anywhere it looks like LGBTs will get rights, and they do their best to shut it down. They get, why, one place Kim Davis went to, I don't know if this was the one, but you know, here they are touting her, look, our hero for keeping the gays from getting a wedding license. The things that are so important to them. They spend more time thinking about gay sex than I do with, you know, and let's just be honest about it, that's just plain weird. Alrighty. We'll move on past that. Oh, the Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith. You know, the one that made the comment about attending a lynching with her friend there, she'd sit right in the front row. And it turns out that she tried to say, no, I'm not prejudiced. It's just, you guys just took it wrong. Well, it turned out she did go to a segregated school. That's a hard thing to put together. So apparently there was schools started in the South that were started by racists who did not want their children mixing with them other coloreds, them blacks and that. So they started their own schools. This one she went to is a segregation academy, set up so white parents could avoid having to send their children to school, black students. She was in the group photo in 1975 of the Rebel. That's what they called their yearbook. Anyway, goes on to talk about they posed with Confederate flags and all that. Fox News got caught lying again. I guess that's no real news, is it? Excuse me. And no punishment for the Nazi salute prom photo in Wisconsin because they can't figure out how to do it without violating the young people's rights. Even though schools do that all the time, they tell students what they can say and what they can't and what they'll be punished for and what they can wear and what they can't. But apparently, it's okay. They can't punish them for giving a Nazi salute. You know what the punishment ought to be? A little education. Every single one of these white males should be taken into an auditorium for 3 days, like I was when I first got over to Germany, and showed the devastation, showed what happened, showed the frickin' camps. And then they can go and actually see them if they want to, like I did. And I'll tell you what, it's not something that you forget, those images. They wouldn't be doing that. There wouldn't be this Nazi-loving crap in this country. We went from defeating Nazis to now we're having to fight them again on our own soil. Because some of our people are Nazi lovers, which is not new. Back in the 20s, they had Nazi lovers here, or in the 30s, excuse me. 24,000 people or something like that filled up Madison Square Garden, or some garden there in New York. I've seen pictures of it. It was on the Young Turks. So it's not new to have Nazi lovers in our country. But we shouldn't. We're better than that. All right, moving on. And it's because the kids don't know. You ask a half a dozen of these kids what the Nazis did, what they were, what their policies were, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know what they did in Poland, how they tried to take over and invade countries. They didn't know. Oh, the kids will probably like that because it shows they're tough. Oh, this guy by Fox News, he's getting paid by Fox and the White House simultaneously. No little bit of state media there. Problem, is it? Let's go on. We don't have a lot. Oh, here we go. Matt Staver demands body of missionary martyr killed by reclusive tribe. He was only bringing them Jesus and they killed him. Oh, those horrible people. Let's talk a little bit about this because I've been reading up on it. I posted some today. They have a reason to not like foreign people. Seems that a missionary, different kind of missionary, I guess he was sent by the government to kind of quell all them island chains and bring them in underneath the government's fist and that. And he was a frickin' pervert, a weirdo, and he would just go and capture them. He decimated one whole tribe, the Jawawas or whatever it is. But he liked to pose the black men in erotic positions and that. They showed some pictures. He was incredibly incensed with their genitals, having to spend great time measuring and documenting them. Well, this particular tribe, he landed on their island and they ran. Now, from the best of the sources I can figure out, he found a couple of older people and some children, and he took them, just abducted them. Well, he did some things. The old people, they died. The kids, he dropped back off at the island a couple months later, and they had, I guess, some horror stories to tell. They showed some pictures on their rod pushed through one kid's head and his back, and I don't want to even begin to tell you what else he did, but it was wrong. Since then, they don't like people coming, and they try to keep them away. Now, they shot through his Bible. It's not, there are groups, there are actual videos, groups of people going there very respectfully, holding up their gifts, putting their gifts down, and then the tribesmen telling them, go back. And then they take the gifts. They're not against taking the gifts. They don't want any contact. Now, this young man was there for several days, and he kept coming up to him, and they kept trying to push him back. No, go, get away from us. Finally, they shot an arrow through his Bible, or into his Bible. Now, most people would have thought, time for me to highlight out of here. Instead, he tells the people with the boat, you guys go, I'll be fine. I guess he dismissed them the first or second day he was there. And so when they shot his Bible, he just decided to go right up and give him a hug or some shit like that. All they really know is the next day the fishermen went and his body was being dragged down the beach with ropes, and they buried him. At least they gave him that respect. I think they buried him on the beach. But he was an aggressor. He'd been told by them, shown signs by them, go away. He was an extreme danger to them. They don't know if he was coming with others to kidnap their kids. Disease had wiped out a whole other island. There's only 100 of them left there. They've been there for 66,000 years or so, they think. I think we can afford to grant them the right to live there without being harassed by Jesus preachers. We're going to give you the word of God. That's okay, because it'll kill you. Anyway, everybody knows how I feel about that. 13 federal agencies issued dire climate change warning. Trump says it doesn't exist. Sitting presidents can be sued. I'm agreeing with that. And the DOJ petitions SCOTUS to hear the military transgender ban. Now, here's the thing. They had a study. They did a study, and the study said there was no reason why transgenders couldn't be in the military. The military signed off on that study. They liked that study. Started putting them in no trouble. Ones in, came out, no troubles. Everybody's happy. Except the religious wingnuts like Tony Perkins and Ralph Reed and Matt Staver and the Liberty Council. Oh, God, transgender people in our military. Oh, we can't have that. Trump says, vote for me. Get your people to vote for me. We will, but you got to do something for us. What's that? You got to put judges on there that will give us all religious rights to disobey any laws that we want that conflict with what we think we ought to do. Okay, you got to get them transgenders out of the military. Get them out of the military, and then after that, we go after the queers. Okay. Mike Pence is just happier than heck to do all that. There's a man that, he doesn't have much compassion of Christ in him, I'll tell you that much. All right, so let's move on. National Enquirer to editor to pin Trump tell-all book. Well, they tell so many lies, I couldn't even read the sentence. All righty. Let's see, how long has this thing been going on? 14 minutes. Oh, well, that's enough news for today. We'll do some more tomorrow and everything. I want to tell everybody just how happy I am to be doing these, and I'm looking forward to doing more of them. And if you have any subjects or topics you'd like to hear me expound on, give them to me. Write a comment in, send me an email. I'm Scottie's Toy Box at gmail.com. And you know what? I just think it's wonderful. Y'all have a great day. Be well. Many hugs from Scottie.